Today we're going to talk about how you can decide if you have the necessary skills or ability or desire even to create your own website, or if you should have someone build it for you. So there are a few key questions that I believe you should ask yourself and really evaluate carefully before you decide. The first most important one, or a very important one, maybe not the most important, but very significant, is: do you have the technical skills or the ability and desire to actually sit and spend several hours learning about a particular website tool? Keep in mind, the first question you need to ask is, do you have a high tolerance to learn the technical skills needed to master complicated software packages? For example, if you want to create a WordPress website, it is a great flexible tool, and I highly recommend it as a tool. But to learn to use it, it really takes some time. And there is a lot of frustration that you could develop in learning WordPress. It's not the easiest thing to always learn, but it is very flexible. And if you have the technical desire to sit there and go through the learning process and some of the thrashing that you might have in doing some things that may not even pan out, then that's a great tool. If you say yes to that question, then that's good. That's one point in your favor that you may want to create your own website and use a more complex tool like WordPress or one of the other content management tools. Now, there's also another option for you if you want to create your own website. There are tools that are much easier. They're more like using a Word document or a PowerPoint sort of application. They're point and click, and they allow you to build a website relatively quickly. They're powered by templates, just as WordPress is powered by templates, but the templates with the website builder style tools pretty much are pre-built, and all you need to do is replace what they put in the template with your particular information. It's a much faster way to build a website, and it's for those who might not be as tolerant of wanting to sit there and dive into some technical details that they may not ever use again besides that website implementation. So there's another factor that you want to take a look at, and it's the timeline that you have to create your website. If your timeline is short and you're in a rush, you may want to consider one of the tools that are more of the website builder that I described just a moment ago, or you might want to have someone build it for you. The second question that you need to keep in mind is, does your timeline for getting online allow you to take a longer time to learn and build your website? Either tool, that'll work for either tool. How you decide between that is really a personal preference. So there's another question that I ask, and it is, do you have the ability to develop an eye for the detail and the design work that needs to take place to create your own website? The third question that you need to keep in mind is, will you be able to develop an eye for designing your pages from scratch? It is a bit of an art and a science and a technical effort as well. It's a lot to do with the marketing, and a website is really intended to be your selling tool. And you need to put together the appropriate images, the appropriate content, copy, text, and layout, and colors that will sell your product or service. If you believe that you can do that, and I think most people can just with a little help, some of the tools I offer on my website do give you a lot of in-depth help on how you could do this yourself, then that's great. That's a question. If you say, yes, you have the tolerance for that, for the ability or the tolerance to be able to create that design, you have that artistic flair combined with technical sort of know-how, that's a step in your favor, or that's an answer that points you in the direction that you may want to be able to create your own website, and you may be able to do it successfully. And the fourth question is, Are you planning to have a lot of integrations with third-party providers that may require customized computer software elements? And if you're not familiar with what that term is, it means things like, are you going to integrate with Amazon Web Services? Are you going to integrate with PayPal? Are you planning to integrate with any of the email marketing tools, such as Entreport, Constant Contact, Aweber? There are a number of these different tools. Will you need custom forms? Will you be needing to integrate with OpenTable? Or menus, will you be adding your menus on your website? All these things can be done by an individual who has the willingness, the desire, and the short amount of time to do it. But they complicate. If you have more integrations that you want to add to your website, they complicate the design, they complicate the implementation. And if you have a lot of these items and you have a low tolerance for digging into the technical details, that might point you in the direction of having someone else build your website for you. So whether you build or buy, you can do it if you build it yourself. Just be aware of what you're getting into. Answer the questions honestly. Do you have the technical ability, or if you don't have the ability, do you have the desire and drive to push through to learn? Can you create that design? Do you have the flair and the eye to do that? Are you tolerant with the timeline? Will your timeline allow you to be able to take the time you need to create your website yourself, whether it is with a complicated package like WordPress or one of the other content management tools, or it is a more of a easier site builder? I sell one of the site builders that are very easy to use. You can build your website in an hour. Really, I have a demo on that you could watch. But the timeline is important. Do you have a short timeline or a long timeline? That'll really dictate your tool and whether or not you're going to do it yourself. If you have a short timeline and you don't have the technical desire, then you probably want to hire out. If you have a long timeline and you do have the technical desire, then you probably can build it yourself. So really, these questions will help point you in the direction of whether you should be taking this project on yourself or you need to hire out. And further, what kind of tool would you like to use in this project? So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in a response below. And I look forward to more videos on how-tos. Please stop by my blog, thebizpalcompany.com/blog. I'll be posting a lot more of these videos on various website topics and website marketing topics. So please stop by again, and thanks for watching. That's all for now. Bye-bye.